Namaste everyone, I am Sadichha Shrestha and welcome to THT Digital Budget Special Series. I am very excited and very honored to be welcoming someone who comes with decades of economic experience. He served as the senior advisor to the government of Nepal, the advisor to the Right Honorable Prime Minister, as an advisor to the Right Honorable President, has been in the advisory board of many different organizations and was also the former governor of Nepal Rastra Bank. Very, very delighted to welcome Dr. Chiranjibi Nepal to this special series. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, Sadichha ji.
Very, very happy to be able to sit down and have this conversation with you. So especially now that the topic in almost every household across Nepal is about the budget that is coming on May 29th. हजुरको घरमा पनि कुरा भइरहेछ कि छैन त?
Yeah, it's a good question, Sadichha ji. Well, the budget especially, it's a number game. If you talk about it, recently we have the policy and program of the government, and with this two-third majority governments, and they have the agenda feature of 100 points program. 100 points program. It's very ambitious.
Yes.
And through that process, they are going for the digitalizations.
Mm-hmm.
Digitalization, their major concern, and the good governance, digitalization, and economic reform. These 3 points are the very basic major points for this budget. They have announced this in this policy and program. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि अब अलिकति फरक भनौँ न कि पहिलाको भन्दा कि पुरै सरकारको हरेक सेक्टरलाई नेपालको हरेक सेक्टरलाई डिजिटलाइज गराउने सूचना प्रविधिसँग मिक्स गर्ने भनेर चाहिँ नि यो यिनीहरूको policy program छ. Let us see the number.
Yes.
Number means in the budget, how they will put it. It's very expensive. If you go through international data, recently the UNCTAD has one resource. It's almost 44% of GDP. It goes for digitalization in least developed country.
Wow.
But one thing, it's very, very good for the country, for poor country, that $1 investment in digitalization, it generate $13.
Okay.
And 1 point increase in digitalization, the economic growth, 3% economic growth goes up. So what I think, it's very challenging,
Right.
very ambitious, $1 trillion economy.
Yes.
within 5 to
decade.
7
Yes,
years.
yes.
It's almost, let us see.
Takke, I was coming to that exact number. You know, when we're talking about a number, the government of Nepal is aiming to become a $100 billion economy in the next decade. Bhanum na, 10 varsama, that is the plan that they have. That is most definitely very, very ambitious. According to you, now of course positive we must all be, but we must also be realistic.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, what could be one of the biggest bottlenecks that Nepal might face to achieve this $100 billion economy?
Look, one thing I'll tell you, this earlier there was a growth diagnosis, especially when they were going to implement the MCC program. At that time, I was the chief economic consultant of the MCC that period. And they have noticed 4 major areas. First, political instability. We have the political stability now.
Check.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this second is policy inconsistency. I think let us hope the policy inconsistency will not be there. There will be the consistency in the policy. Policy won't be changed within a few years, within a few months. Yeah, it may take a decade to change the policy. That it may not harm the investors. And third one is energy. Energy deficiency was there. They have noted it. And fourth one, the labor problem, labor relation with the industrial sector. So what I think that this two-third majority government, they may take a step to reduce all these deficiency through their bylaws and by their action. Recently, the government has taken the different
Actions, yes.
Yeah. There are some positive also. People are thinking in a positive. There may be, you can see the divide in the opinions, but some are the very good example. Look, when you talk about the economic development required multifaceted approach.
True.
Yeah, including diversification, infrastructure major concern, and the policy that create the jobs and economic growth. And investing in education, training, and digital infrastructure is the crucial for modern economic growth and stability. So these are the major things that the policy in the policy and program, they have noted it.
Right.
Now that we have to see the implement, because I'll mention we all know this, Sadichha ji. के छ भन्दाखेरि since decades the policy and program was very nice.
Yes.
And even the budget was very nice.
Yes. It always
never
looks good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
True.
But never fulfill the target.
Right.
And never it came to the real, in a tangible shape.
Right.
Yeah, that is the problem.
True. I was asking Dr. Nepal, what are some of the bottlenecks that might happen? उहाँले चाहिँ एकदमै राम्रोसँग यो हुन सक्थ्यो, but many कुरा हामीले bottleneckबाट पार शायद हुन सक्छौँ होला or भइसक्यौँ होला. And now let's see how well the implementation happens, because that is definitely most important. I think whenever the budget comes out, whenever the government announces some sort of policies, reforms and programs, it always sounds very nice. It looks very good on paper. But implementation ma, there's always an issue. And त्यही कारणले पनि हाम्रो चाहिँ असारे विकास भनेर पनि भनिन्छ नि हैन, यो last minute मा आएर at the end when the deadline is almost there, we can almost touch the deadline, that is when everybody suddenly wakes up. हैन. What would you suggest हजुर यो government लाई? Your budget might look good on paper, the policies might look good on paper, हजुरले भन्नुभएको छ, the 100 points might sound very nice, might get everybody excited, but what would your suggestion be to the government, to the stakeholders, so that these projects are actually executed also on time?
Yeah, but it's a basic point that rightly mentioned about that at the end of the year, we start our capital expenditure.
Yes.
So when you go through the data, it's almost only 64% of capital expenditure every year. In this decades, we are having that sort of things. And recently that I have gone through the data that only 98 billion that we have allocate almost 265 billion for the capital expenditure. Only 8 billion चाहिँ नि अहिलेसम्म खर्च भयो भनिसकेपछि there is big gap between this. So I would suggest that they have mentioned in their 100 points. One point is basically that they will not look for this tender. They have this, those who want to do development work, they can do immediately after the budget.
Right.
And that project agreement with the project chief, that is the major concern, that project chief will not be transferred until this completion of complete. Yeah,
okay.
That is the basic point. Anyway, first of all, the implementation part is major concern in Nepal. Because if you go through this capital expenditure, and recently that in 9 months, we principal and interest payment 242 billion. Government in regular expenditure is going up, which is necessity, going up. And in between regular expenditure and revenue generation, there's almost 150 billion gap. So we need lots of money for the budget.
Yes.
Let us see the budget, how they will make it. And I hope that if we will be able to implement all the points they have raised in this, and the allocation of budget in the major that big national prize project, especially national prize fast track, national prize project in the hydropower, in the tourism sector. In tourism sector, if you invest 1 rupees, it generate 163 rupees. That is the multiplier effect in tourism sector. Low investment, the high
return.
dividend.
Yeah.
High return, high dividend, and employment generating that area. But I doubt in this IT sector, which is they have expected to generate the more employment in IT sector, which I doubt, because IT sector is more this is very challenging, and you don't have literacy, that financial literacy here, and the digital literacy you don't have there. We have a very weak infrastructure in IT sector, and this broadband and this internet, strong internet and devices is very costly. If you go through the OECD country, it's a 6 times higher that we pay for these devices, ICT devices. Right. So there's a very tough for the government to implement through the transformation of digitalization country, the transformation of economy through digitalization.
But also because the government does have plans, like you'd mentioned, to digitize Nepal and to also maybe create more digital job opportunities here in Nepal, so that Nepalis who are working outside can also come remote work, to encourage remote work, to encourage other people who have this opportunity of working from home to make Nepal their home and to come and work from here. So I think त्यो area ma pani the government is most definitely exploring, and like you mentioned, it's definitely a challenge, but the return also seems very exciting. To be able to do this work. तर अब यो possible कतिको हुन्छ भन्ने चाहिँ नि ठुलो प्रश्न भयो.
Sadichha, it sounds very good,
right.
Very nice. You know that when you go through these 100 points
right.
reform program, it sounds good, because we are looking for this since decades.
Yes.
We want our country go through, because we are in between this big giant economy. So we must move ahead. So this 100 points sounds good. But one thing, it's a very, very, I'm a bit confused on it, because you have 10,000 community school, you give training to that community, digital training, they have mentioned on it. So how far? Because you have to outsource the technical people from outside, outsource it. We don't have base for the foundation for it. So you have to hire from outside. It may cost high. So the government, which is totally depend on their development expenditure on loan and grant, especially I would say loan, there's public debt. It is almost debt GDP ratio is 48%. So I think how the government will manage these resources, because at present the loan it's almost 81%. Only grant it has declined. Now we have to take the loan. If we go, we are in a grey list at present.
Yes.
So it's another challenging how this donor community and our those bilateral partner will see us.
Will look at Nepal.
Yeah, look at Nepal.
Yes.
So there is another challenge to this government to mention this relation about this for the new Nepal.
And time is running out. Nepal, like you've mentioned, is on the grey list and on the grey list for the second time around.
Yeah.
हजुरको यो फाइनेन्शियल एक्सन टास्क फोर्सको ग्रे लिस्टमा नेपाल दोस्रोचोटि परेको छ होइन हजुर. अब यो ब्ल्याक लिस्ट पर्यो भने इट्स गोइङ टु बी भेरी डिफिकल्ट, भेरी च्यालेन्जिङ. Anyway, I think visa rejection is high. Anyway, FDI in Nepal is very low, number one.
Yeah, yeah.
Number two, like you've mentioned, if we are second time around in the grey list, and chances of us being in the blacklist is increasing with every passing day. How do we survive this? And to those of our viewers who are watching us back home, what does it mean for Nepal to be on the grey list for the second time around? यसले कसरी नेपाललाई इम्प्याक्ट गरेको छ भन्ने बारेमा एउटा, एन्ड जुन यो एफडिआई लिएर आउने सोच छ त्यसलाई पनि कसरी च्यालेन्जिङ बनाउँछ अझै यो ग्रे लिस्ट र ब्ल्याक लिस्टमा पर्दा.
Let's don't talk about blacklist. Yeah,
let's not manifest blacklist.
त्यसले गर्दा ग्रे लिस्ट इट्स अरू यो वर्ल्डको एउटा यो उसमा FATF सम्पत्ति शुद्धिकरण तथा आतङ्ककारी क्रियाकलाप सम्बन्धी, जसले गर्दाखेरि हामीले द FATF को प्रेसरमा just in 2080 we have amended 19 laws. हैन, त्यो ल चाहिँ नि एमेन्ड गरिसकेपछि त्यसको इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन र इन्भेस्टिगेसन अनुसन्धान, त्यसको कारवाही गर्नु पर्यो, कार्यान्वयन, अनुसन्धान र अभियोजन दुई तिनटै हामीले गर्न नसक्दा हाम्रो चाहिँ नि ग्रे लिस्टमा पर्यो. त्यो भनेको मतलब के भन्दा पैसा जुन मुभमेन्ट छ नि, पैसाको मुभमेन्टलाई ट्रान्सप्यारेन्ट गर भनेको FATFले सम्पत्ति शुद्ध, जसले जहाँबाट पैसा ल्याएको भए पनि इट सुड ग्रो थ्रु वान विन्डो सिस्टम भनेको थ्रु ब्याङ्किङ सेक्टर. त्यसले गर्दा इट सुड बी ट्रान्सप्यारेन्ट. कति कमाएछौ, कति राखेका छौ, के छौ, ट्रान्सप्यारेन्ट. आफ्नो प्रपर्टीदेखि लिएर कमाएको कुरा र कहाँबाट बाहिर ल्याएको कुरा, बाहिरबाट पैसा आउँछ भने पनि त्यो ट्रान्सप्यारेन्ट हुनु पर्यो. यहाँबाट बाहिर जान्छ भने लगानी सबै चिज त्यो इन्टरनेसनली. बिकज यो चाहिँ नि पहिला 89 देखि भनौँ यो सुरु भयो 1989 देखि. देयर वर ओन्ली 7 countries and they have started talking about this, and after 9/11 scandal, and now the 40 points and 49 points which is highly recommended for it. So we have to fulfill those points. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि 15 पोइन्ट्सहरू जुन उनीहरूले दिएको छ सेकेन्ड टाइममा फर द अवेरनेस अफ द कन्ट्री, र 15 रणनीतिक पोइन्ट्सहरू जुन छ स्ट्राटेजिक पोइन्ट, त्यो पनि हामीले फुलफिल गर्न सकेका छ. ओन्ली 4 months इज लेफ्ट. अब त के भयो भने ओन्ली पोलिटिकल पिपुल, political leadership can pull us out from
that list.
That list. You know, a political party, we have a 2/3 majority government. If they commit to this APG, Asia Pacific group, recently they have landed in Nepal.
Right.
I think that just a day before to see it, to evaluate it again. So they can, if they if our political leader assure them, we may come from the grey list. Otherwise, it will be very hard for us to survive in Nepal.
For the second time around also, do you think assurance will work?
Yeah, of course. This time I'm hopeful because the 2/3 majority government, and they have started with certain reform, economic reform, and are already certain amendment, almost more than 24 amendment in laws and bylaws, and they have started working through these FATF outlines, APG guidelines. Look at Mongolia. They just came out within 8 months from the Great List. And we can see the Iceland. They within 1 year, they came out from grey list. So you are in the grey list, it doesn't mean that it is very bad. But how you are going to
Navigate.
Navigate, and you have to upgrade yourself all the time. Every year you have to upgrade yourself to remain in that FATF group,
Right.
APG group. So this is the very challenging also. On the other side, I'll mention you that we have asked for 3 years for this LDC graduation.
Graduation, yes.
More 3 years.
Right.
So this is the major challenge that we are in the grey list. We have asked for 3 years. And another external challenge is there, and we have this in the Gulf country, we have war. And the people in Nepal and everywhere in the least developed and developing, they are suffering from inflation.
Right.
Definitely, they have highly attacked inflation. You know that now it is increasing in Nepal. So 4.47 inflation is rising. It may go up. But when you see this central bank report, it may remain below 5%, but I don't think that, because through that everything is done through this energy. When you have an energy to that level, is very costly petroleum product, that definitely it will hit the price.
The prices will be affected. Almost all the prices are affecting. Almost all areas are being affected. Especially production, manufacturing in Nepal is an area that is really, really weak. When me and my team were doing a research, we found out that just in 2025, Nepal imported toothpicks from China and India. नेपालमै I think यस्तो सानो चिज exactly. We are importing.
We are so dependent.
Exactly. Whereas if you look, I think looking at an outside perspective, yes, I might be wrong to be saying easily we can make, but at least policies in place हुनु पर्यो. Encourage त गर्नु पर्यो हजुरको हैन, because bamboo को यस्तो राम्रो इन्डस्ट्री छ नेपालमा, अनि त्यहीबाट आउने एउटा टुथपिक चाहिँ हामी चाइना र इन्डियाबाट इम्पोर्ट गरिरहेछौँ हैन, त्यो पनि हजुरले भने जस्तै करोडौंको संख्यामा. What would your suggestion be? Like if you, for example, sir, had to give एउटा कुरा चाहिँ तपाईले यदि यो आउने सरकारलाई इन्डस्ट्रीज को ग्रोथ राम्रो बनाउनलाई यो चाहिँ अलिकति फुकुवा गर्देऊ न, यसमा मेबी ट्याक्स कम गर्देऊ अथवा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मा रिबेट हुन सक्छ. What would you suggest? What can be done?
That's a good question. I would suggest, I'm suggesting also, as a private sector. They should raise the confidence of private sector.
Yes.
The government, because private, after this 23 र 24 को आन्दोलन पछि private sector are एकदम demoralized भएको स्थितिमा. Recently, the few cases that we have come through the banking sector and other there. So first of all, the confidence of private sector must be there, because if you go through the investment of private sector in 2072, the investment was it's almost 19% of GDP. Now it has come down to 14%, where the government investment is also coming down to 28%. Earlier, it was 10 years before, it was almost 39%. So, private sector measure, and another major part is tax. Tax is the major concern.
Yes.
So that we have I think we are the very high taxpayer in South Asia.
Yes.
भनौँ साउथ एसिया सबभन्दा बढी ट्याक्स तिर्ने चाहिँ नि हामी छौँ, जसको एफडीआई पनि सबभन्दा लोएस्ट इन साउथ एसिया, 0.2%. 0.2% in South Asia, the lowest FDI coming inflow हुँदाखेरि. So tax पनि हाम्रो हाई छ, त्यसले इन्कम ट्याक्स लगायत त्यो चाहिँ नि, र ट्याक्समा चाहिँ नि दायरा रेन्ज इन्क्रिज गरेर ट्याक्स नबढाऊ. Increase, give the facility. With the other facility, त्यो गरिदियो भने चाहिँ नि आई थिङ्क वी क्यान इन्करेज टु इस्टाब्लिस टु बिल्ड दिस टाइप अफ द स्मल एन्ड मिडियम टाइप
Enterprises.
इन्टरप्राइजेस एन्टरप्रिनियरसिप इज अलमोस्ट देयर मस्ट बी द एक्सेस टु
Finance, exactly.
exactly.
Thakke, my question now, access to finance, if you were to talk about this, is very interesting that the banks are flush with liquidity. If you look, everybody is talking about how there is liquidity, but the money is not reaching people who are creating jobs.
Yeah.
What do you think is the problem? Is it the budget problem? Is it a monetary policy problem? Or is it just maybe a confidence problem?
It's a confidence problem. It's a confidence. Morally, business community, they are not coming out. We just seen, look, after COVID, business community, they are highly in depression. No government in Nepal, they encourage the private sector. They talk about private sector, but they didn't encourage the private sector. They never encourage the private sector. If you don't have the private sector investment, definitely there won't be the job creation. Nothing will be there. This revenue generation won't be there. There won't be the development. Look at the situation at present. Lots of money in the market. It's almost 1,200 billion Nepali rupees in the market. Which is we are in historically lowest interest rate at present. But what is the this credit disbursement, credit flow? It's only 6%. Our target is 12%. So people are, but encourage them.
So
Because if you go through this 80% private sector investment, it comes through looking the government budget and policy. When they see the budget and policy, they are more encouraged. Oh, look, we have to invest.
So if you were to,
yeah.
Dr. Nepal, if you were to call the finance minister today and let's now look, there's a big confidence problem. There's a lot of liquidity, but none of the business people, the business community, the entrepreneurs are not taking this. You need to do dash. You need to do this in order to increase their confidence. Fill in the blanks, Azuli.
Only tax, just
reduce the
taxes. Reduce the taxes. That is the major problem that we have at present.
That you think is going to encourage?
And त्यसपछि अर्को चाहिँ नि private sector should be in front of development. Take the guidance of private sector. Private sector guidance भयो भने गभर्मेन्ट अगाडि बढ्ने हो. Private sector guidance नहुँदाखेरि गभर्मेन्टलाई गाह्रो हुन्छ.
I think now when we look at the new MPs, we see a lot of people with experience in business, experience in tourism, who are also now entered the parliament. So that does give a hope that maybe now the decisions that the government will take will be in favor of the business community. But sometimes when abrupt rules like the recent MRP rules, they come forward and the government has to then backtrack and say, okay, for now we're not doing it. It shows that there is no research or no listening to the private sector that happens when announcing these rules. I think this government also needs to make sure that that is also changed.
यो एकदमै very important inner question भनिन्छ यसलाई. एकदमै इनसाइडबाटै तपाईले लिनुभयो. यो हामीले look Nepal from inside. How is Nepal? How the business community is functioning. Don't look from outside. Internationally, international आँखाले र विदेशीको आँखाले चाहिँ नि नहेर. नेपालको त आफ्नै छ. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि यो अत्यन्त महत्त्वपूर्ण हो. त्यसले जने those young energetic MPs are there. They have knowledge also, but they are lack of experience. Most of the MPs, they are lack of experience. They know it. They have traveled abroad, many countries. They knew it, but the lack of experience.
Ground
That is,
reality,
yeah,
they
ground
might
reality,
not know.
yeah. त्यो जहिलेसम्म त्यसलाई फुलफिल गर्छ किन भन्दा हामीले प्राइभेट सेक्टरलाई अति नै सधैँ लखेटेका छौँ. लुक एट द प्राइभेट सेक्टर. सुरुदेखि नै प्राइभेट सेक्टर भनिसकेपछि हामीले लखेट्ने मात्रै काम गऱ्यौँ. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि वी हेभ टु नर्चर द प्राइभेट सेक्टर एन्ड द प्राइभेट सेक्टर policy, that's a directive should be there to promote the economy.
Okay, so reduce the taxes,
Yeah.
Honorable Finance Minister, is what you're going to suggest. Dr. Nepal, I just have final 2 questions to conclude, and I have very easy questions, I would say. I know, masang antimma jasto 2 question matrai cha. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very pessimistic and 10 being highly optimistic, what do you think about the plans, policies, programs that are announced by this government?
Yeah,
Number matrai diनुपर्छ हजुरले मलाई, no description.
No, हैन.
1 being pessimistic, 10 being highly optimistic.
Yeah, it's a
What number are you going to give?
7.
7, okay. And now, once the budget actually comes, and they have 2/3 majority, like you said, how optimistic or pessimistic, again from 1 to 10, are you, or what do you believe that they'll be able to achieve all their policies, programs, जुन announce गर्नु भएको छ त्यो target meet गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ भन्दा चाहिँ कति pessimistic, कति optimistic? Again, another number.
Another number, 5 number दिन्छ.
5. So, दुध भात त भन्न ठ्याक्कै बिचमा?
बिचमा किन भनेर भन्दा किन रिसोर्सेस एकदमै गाह्रो छ. The plan that they have taken the transformation of economy through digitalization. Digitalization itself is very costly.
Cost a lot.
Costly policy. So, I'm very much, let's give them benefit of doubt.
Okay. So optimistic in terms of the policies, plans, programs they've introduced, but implementation ma you'll wait and watch and see.
Yeah, exactly.
Neutral number 5. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Nepal, for being with us. हजुरले यो budget special series मा आएर हामीसँग यो कुराकानी गरिदिनु भएकोमा we would really like to thank you very, very much.
धन्यवाद सर.
Thank you.